Tension thickens at the Awakeners Academy. Today, every student's raw power is put to the ultimate test. One by one, names echo. Candidates step through a glowing portal into the heart of the chamber. A ravenous demon heart waits inside, specifically trained to consume and measure a hunter's spiritual essence. It calculates their current rank and latent potential, broadcasting the results for the entire academy to judge. Most students are revealed as mere E-rank fodder. A few celebrate hitting D-rank dreaming of greatness. Suddenly, the academy's golden boy steps forward. He is the elite heir to a legendary guild. Anticipation ripples through the crowd as he confidently strides toward the pulsating demon heart. Smirking with arrogance, he aims for a sensation. He plans to shatter every record in academy history. He unleashes a torrent of mana. Outside, the students erupt into a frenzied roar of excitement. The display flashes a high-tier D rank. Even better, his growth potential reaches the mythical S rank level. His lackeys cheer wildly, convinced this arrogant prodigy is a rare talent destined for the top. They mock a quiet, unassuming boy nearby. His name is Sichen, and his turn has finally come. They expect nothing but total humiliation. Sichen ignores the insults and calmly walks toward his destiny. He enters the testing chamber. But this time, the ancient demon heart begins to tremble in terror. Before Sichen even activates a single skill, the device already registers a massive high-tier D-rank reading. The spectators gasp in pure shock. Then, with a cold gaze, Sichen plays his weakest skill card. Using a power devoured from a common monster, he effortlessly forces the scale into C-rank territory. While the crowd struggles to process the sight, Sichen decides to push his power even further. He activates a far stronger class card. Now the demon heart is in a state of panic. As his true aura explodes, reality itself warps. A violent storm suddenly manifests in the sky above. The ranking system glitches under the pressure. It flickers wildly before revealing a hidden S-rank potential. The professors are left in stunned silence. But they have no idea this is only the beginning. The single S begins to multiply. He reaches triple S rank before the system reaches its limit. A critical error flashes as the load peaks. Now the professors are gripped by genuine primal fear. They sprint toward the testing room. Upon bursting inside, they find the entire chamber in ruins. The demon heart has been incinerated completely dead. Such a catastrophe is unheard of in history. No one can explain this divine anomaly. Meanwhile, our protagonist casually strolls out of the smoke. In secret, he had devoured the demon heart after his overwhelming pressure snuffed out its life. Who exactly is Sichen? And how did he obtain such godlike strength so early on? Sichen is a regressor back from a nightmare future where the entire world fell to demons. As humanity's final survivor, he fought a lonely war for years against the endless abyssal tides. In one final act of defiance, he eliminated the Demon King by triggering a mutual self-destruction. Following a flash of blinding light, he suddenly awoke within his old familiar dormitory room. Disoriented, he wonders if this is the afterlife. But the sights and sounds are too real. Gazing out the window at the bustling campus, the impossible truth finally begins to sink in. It is not a dream. He realizes with absolute certainty that a miracle has truly occurred. His desperate wish was granted. He has regressed 10 years back to his early university days. Suddenly, a mysterious hologram flickers to life, informing Sichen of a startling new development. The system announces that the integration of the gluttony power is now successfully complete. He realizes he has only 3 years of peace before the first Demon Lord Wrath descends. He remembers vividly that this specific Demon Lord was the catalyst for the world's total ruin. Wrath was the monster responsible for every tragedy. He is the one who shatters the world. He will tear open the gates of hell, paving the way for the other lords to follow. Humanity's nightmare starts there. Our hero resolves to locate the exact point of the descent. He must hunt down Wrath and execute him before the gates can ever be opened. The system finally flickers to life. Snapping back to reality, Chen glares at the holographic interface. His stats finally come into focus. Is this a game menu or a god-tier system interface? In his past life, he only had his raw awakened strength, a 1 in 10,000 gift. Now, the National Awakener University wants that talent. They scout the elite. But in his previous timeline, Chen failed. He never awakened back then. He was just a punching bag for bullies. That's why he's in the infirmary now, just another weakling without power. Suddenly, the system reveals a legendary lightning-type assassin card. It's the exact same class he mastered in his past life. Shocked, he wonders, has his awakening triggered early this time? He prepares to test it, but a sudden interruption halts the process. His roommate, Ma Long, enters a low-tier E-rank flower chanter. Covered in bandages, the loyal friend rushes to check on Chen. Long can't see the screens. This power is Chen's alone. Long stares in disbelief. Chen's brutal wounds have completely vanished. How can a non-awakener heal faster than an actual E rank? Chen remembers him well. In the past, Long finally awakened here, but he remained weak. He was slaughtered 3 days after the descent. When wrath descended, Long died. Chen watches his friend smiling sadly. Seeing him alive is a gift. This time, the ending changes. He'll protect him at all costs. Chen vows to change destiny. We gotta move, Long warns. The rank test begins tomorrow morning. Preparation is key. Long pities Chen, assuming he's still powerless. This test is everything. Without a rank, graduation is impossible. Walking through the crowds, Chen sighs. It's been ages since he saw life. Long is creeped out, but Chen knows inaction means certain death. The same tragedy will repeat unless he grinds for power now. He needs levels and fast. But a massive hurdle stands in his way. Currently, experience only comes from slaying monsters in the field. Those beasts lurk in demon lairs, all monopolized by the major guilds. For an outsider like Chen, leveling up is nearly impossible. He checks his stats again. How does he compare to the elites? Comparing himself to monsters and men, the official ranks dictate everything. From E rank to S class, most students here will never leave E rank. D rank is rare. Chen glances at Long, feeling a surge of confidence. He's already beyond Long. Suddenly, wham, a ball strikes out of nowhere. It hits Long, shattering his glasses against the pavement. The nightmare returns. It's the bully Gong Chong and his thugs. Yesterday's tormentors are back. Chung smirks, looking for more trouble. He sneers at their weakness. But Chen stays cold and focused. Keep calm for the test. This mockery only fuels his inner fire. He'll show them true power. Long quietly gathers his broken shards. As laughter echoes behind them, Chen checks the system one last time. He's ready for tomorrow, but Chung isn't letting them leave yet. The bully sneers, demanding to know why his pathetic lackey forgot the drinks again. Terrified, Long stammers an apology, reaching for his wallet with trembling hands. He is ready to pay with his own cash, but Chen suddenly grips his shoulder. The only one who should apologize, Chen declares coldly, is that trash standing there. Locking eyes with the tyrant, a flood of agonizing memories surges through Chen's mind. He remembers them shoving his head underwater, the suffocating darkness of those school sinks. No guilt, only laughter, as they claimed they were helping him awaken his powers. They didn't stop until he blacked out. Only faithful Long stayed by his side. But the moment Chen whispered a word, Chung returned to inflict even more pain. Now the tables have turned. Chen is ready to teach these bastards a lesson. Chung and his goons sneer, closing the distance to silence the upstart for good. Chen stares back unfazed. He knows exactly why this coward acts so high and mighty. He only preys on the weak because his brother is the elite student council president. As the bully looms closer, a crowd of students gathers, whispering in hushed tones. Pity fills their eyes. They are already waiting to see Chen get pulverized again. Chung leans in his voice, a venomous hiss, demanding Chen repeat his bold words. Without flinching, Chen repeats it. Stop acting like a king, and leave us alone. Infuriated, Chung's face contorts in rage. He has never been defied like this before. He launches a heavy fist, but this time Chen's reaction is lightning fast. He blocks the strike effortlessly, shoving the bully back with overwhelming physical force. The hallway falls silent. How can an unawakened loser repel a powered attack? He parried it like child's play. Chung's ego shatters, replaced by a murderous fury. As the bully charges, Chen activates his secret weapon, the electric assassin class. Static crackles as Chung summons his indestructible demon armor, charging like a juggernaut. He swings with a devastating blow, but Chen vanishes into a blur of speed. A lightning-infused fist connects. The shockwave ripples through the entire crowded corridor. The weakling sends the tyrant flying with just one strike. No one can believe it. Battered and bloodied, Chung screams for his lackeys to rip Chen limb from limb. He demands vengeance, but his minions are paralyzed, their courage failing them completely. Terrified by Chen's aura, they hesitate. Desperate Chung staggers up for one last stand. He lunges again, fueled by blind hatred, only to be met with crushing reality. Chen slams him down again. The bully is being dismantled like a mere toy. Seeing their boss humiliated, the lackeys turn tail and flee into the shadows. Long watches from the sidelines, his jaw hitting the floor in absolute disbelief. Yesterday's victim is today's god. He can barely recognize his own roommate anymore. Chen's mind is racing. The ability to switch states is just as potent as before. He switches to his assassin state instantly. Even at level 1, his stats are lethal. Low-level Awakeners are nothing to him now. His power level is easily rank D. But something is wrong. Despite the victory, his system has not updated his level. No experience gained, no level up. Chen's focus shifts as his bloodlust begins to boil. He prepares a finishing blow, and the crowd gasps, sensing an impending tragedy. Suddenly, a cold voice pierces the air. Student Council Vice President Ling Yu arrives. She commands him to stand down, her sharp eyes warning him of the consequences. No unsanctioned violence on campus, she declares. Chen slowly suppresses his surging aura. Ling Yu stands firm, staring him down. Even a bully like Chung is protected here. Regardless of his sins, this brutal punishment has crossed the line. She promises him that the pathetic bully won't crawl back for more. Accepting this, our hero relents. As he retreats from the carnage, Chen wonders why the elite student council is so desperate to protect trash like Chung. Though his murderous intent was merely a calculated act, he knows these predators must taste true fear to learn their lesson. Without a harsh wake-up call, they will just hunt the weak again. Chen departs with his friend, while the terrified lackeys watch from the shadows, trembling in silence. They swear never to provoke this monster again. Later that night, Long frantically tries to convince the other roommates that Chen has evolved into a god-tier lightning-imbued assassin, but they just laugh. Long desperately recounts how their frail friend absolutely demolished Chung. However, Xiang Zuo, a rank E nucleus mage, scoffs at the tale. Zuo mocks the idea of Chen becoming a powerhouse. If he is truly a legend, why is he still doing basic grunt work? He claims a true awakener would not bother with primitive physical training. The gamer of the group, Shan Yu, chimes in with a lazy smirk. He jokes that Long must have suffered some serious brain damage. Zuo continues his lecture, reminding them of their harsh reality. This dorm is for the bottom feeders, the weakest of the entire academy. No matter how hard they struggle, their pathetic fate is sealed. Zuo boasts that he is the only one with any real potential, labeling the others as mere support fodder while flexing his ego. He is certain Chen's lightning power is a fluke, feeling smugly superior. He dreams of ranking up during tomorrow's final graduation exam. Elsewhere, Student Council President Gong Ting emerges from a brutal session, inside a rank E demon lair. He spots his brother waiting nearby, demanding an explanation. Chun whines that his pride is utterly shattered. He cannot sleep while the man who humiliated him still draws breath. The coward begs his brother to deliver a crushing, vengeful strike. Ting coldly promises to clean up the mess. Later that evening, the vice president questions how Ting will handle this mysterious newcomer. Ting wonders if the boy truly possesses such monstrous strength. Ling Yu reminds him that rank D students are incredibly rare. With less than 10 in school, Ting has already claimed them all. She scoffs that commoners do not have access to secret demon lairs. Without those resources, nobody should ever stand a chance against them. Yet under the cover of night, Chen pushes his body to the limit. Drenched in freezing rain, he charges forward with insane determination. He is hauling 100 kilograms over a grueling 20-kilometer sprint. He knows physical mastery is the key to unlocking true awakened potential. A fragile vessel cannot contain the surging power of a divine class. With every step, the agonizing memory of his sister's death fuels him. She was lost when the demon king of wrath descended to purge humanity. The image of that blood-soaked apocalypse is burned into his very soul. Watching his sister perish was a nightmare he'd never forget. Now, slaying the demon king is his only mission. That tragic moment sparked the end of the world. Chen knows he must strike at the very root. The demon lord is gaining power far sooner than expected. With only 3 years until the descent, time is a luxury Chen doesn't have. He must evolve faster than the darkness itself to survive. Suddenly his phone vibrates. It's his sister Qing. Her voice, a ghost from the past, hits him like a physical blow. He stands frozen, drowning in a sea of silent, bittersweet emotions. Qing apologizes for the silence, explaining she was buried in a fierce competition. She sounds hopeful, mentioning that winning the prize money could finally end their crushing debt and rent struggles. Chen listens to her lively chatter with a soft smile. Every word fuels his burning resolve. This time he will be her shield, ensuring she lives the peaceful life she truly deserves. Once the call fades, he channels that fire into training, crushing 3 more laps around the campus. Drenched in sweat, he heads to the showers to wash away the exhaustion of his mortal limits. He can feel his youthful body responding, vibrating with a hidden explosive potential for growth. Seated in quiet contemplation, his mind drifts to the elite demon lairs restricted to the wealthy. Strength requires sacrifice and monster blood. He needs a way into those gated hunting grounds fast. As he puzzles over his lack of resources, sleep finally claims him, dragging him into the system. He awakens within the surreal gluttony system, a realm that feels far too vivid for a dream. He surveys the strange landscape, wondering if his mind has finally snapped under the pressure. Outside, Long arrives, looking for his friend, baffled by Chen's sudden and mysterious disappearance. Inside the void, a gargantuan tower pierces the sky, looming over Chen with an ancient malice. Before he can even process the sight, the shadows stir with hunger. A pack of E-ranked deathhounds emerges from the gloom, snarling a lethal welcome to their newest uninvited guest. Doubt flickers in his mind, but there's no escape. He's somehow breached a hidden demon lair. Reacting on instinct, he instantly switches his class. First, he'll kill. Questions can wait for later. The hounds lunged from the darkness, but they were nothing more than fodder for his blade. Chen carves through the beasts with clinical precision, proving they were all bark and no bite. Loot scatters as he hits level 2. A cold, confident smirk plays across his focused face. He realizes fate has smiled upon him. He stumbled into a goldmine of experience and power. A massive boss monster suddenly roars into view, but Chen meets it with a lethal silver flash. He cleaves through the titan like it's mere paper, feeling the rush of another level up. The experience points are staggering, dwarfing the meager gains from the lesser mobs he just slaughtered. As the boss's corpse cools, a glowing prompt appears, marking the fallen creature as devourable. Chen pauses, his mind racing as he tries to decipher what this strange new command implies. He remembers the forbidden gluttony power from his status panel, and slowly reaches out his hand. The activation is instant. A terrifying hunger consumes the monster, pulling it into a shimmering card. Stunned, Chen stares at the card. He has the power to turn fallen enemies into usable classes. The realization hits him like a thunderclap. This is the exact same authority the Demon Lord possessed. Holding the power of his greatest enemy leaves him shaken to his very core. This is insane. In this world, hunters are usually shackled to 1 or 2 classes for their entire lives. But Chen He can now hoard an infinite army of powers within his own soul. He wonders what cosmic fluke granted him this godlike ability and looks toward the demonic tower. The structure pulses with mystery, beckoning him deeper into its dangerous, shadow-filled floors. Suddenly the air grows heavy and cold. A suffocating pressure descends as a new threat manifests. An S-ranked demon steps into the light twin, cursed blades gleaming with a thirst for blood. Against such overwhelming power, Chen realizes he's staring into the abyss of his own certain death. Chen stares death in the eye. He ignites a lightning blade for one final desperate stand. It is a lethal gamble against fate. But something feels chillingly off about this encounter. The beast whispers his name, sending shivers down his spine as their blades begin to clash. It is a cruel game of cat and mouse. The monster is purposely avoiding his vital points. He is crushed into the dirt repeatedly. Only when Chen reaches his breaking point does it speak. A dark proposition is made. Abandon humanity, and serve as the demonic tower's eternal guardian. Slavery for survival is no choice at all. Chen's defiance earns him a brutal crimson slash. Steel tears through his flesh. The demon towers over him, ready to deliver the finishing blow. It claims to have been pulling its punches. Apparently, Chen possesses a spark that is truly rare. No ordinary mortal could reach this sanctum. The creature demands he rethink his foolish pride. But Chen's will is made of iron. He spits in the face of death once more. Safety is discarded as he lunges forward. A primal roar erupts as he charges his soul. He will end this nightmare here. With a surge of fury, he strikes at the monster. Every second of pain was a lesson. He has been dissecting the demon's every twitch. He spotted the tell a 0.4 second delay before every devastating swing. That split second is his only sanctuary. He tracks the trajectory with lethal precision. He reads the monster's wrist and weaves through the strike. But wait, he found something more. A 2-second recovery window exists. This is the critical opening he has been praying for. The beast will be wide open. He bets everything on this one perfect moment of vulnerability. His blade screams toward the demon's heart. The impossible maneuver is executed with surgical grace. Reality bites hard, though. A D-rank hunter cannot hope to slay an S-rank nightmare. He doesn't need a kill, just a window. Paralyze the beast and find a way out. He breaks into a desperate sprint toward the light. Could that shimmering glow be his salvation? He reaches for freedom, his fingers inches away. Then the light flickers and dies instantly. It was nothing but a cruel mirage. The demon chuckles at his desperate, pathetic hope. There is no door and no escape. This realm is a cage with no key. This cursed palace is no simple lair. The truth is far more twisted than that. Surprisingly, the beast praises him. It is impressed by how he dissected its flawed attack patterns. The veil drops, revealing the Purgatory Rakshasa, a name that echoes with ancient terror. It calls Chen the beacon of hope. Chen narrows his eyes, scanning the monster's form. A jolt of recognition strikes him. This terrifying visage is identical to the demon lord, Lan Yu. Memories of the apocalypse flood back. He remembers the final bloody battle of his past life. Before the regression, he fought this very shadow. It was a duel that defined his destiny. That opponent was a god of destruction, a force of nature that defied all logic. The creature shifted forms, becoming a colossal dragon before morphing into even darker abominations. It cycled through legendary horrors, each form more terrifying than the last. It commanded molten magma and toxic vines wielding lightning that put his own to shame. Yet amidst that chaotic onslaught, one specific form remained burned into his memory. It was the exact silhouette of the monster standing before him in this very moment. The puzzle pieces clicked together. Every transformation was a fragment of the Demon King's soul. Since he inherited that dark legacy, this demon is more than just a foe. This is the manifestation of gluttony, a power now living deep within his own body. His keen insight leaves the demon stunned. The monster cannot help but offer its respect. You truly are the chosen one, worthy of inheriting the cosmic strength of this dimension. Chen's brow furrows in deep confusion. What kind of destiny has he stumbled into, ruler of this entire realm? In a flash, a shimmering void key appears, within the creature's grasp. This artifact is the sole gateway to the massive spire looming behind him. The beast reveals that the tyrant Lan Yu consumed an endless legion of nightmares. Its sacred duty was to watch this prison of the world's most terrifying entities. But now, it offers that very legacy to a mere mortal. Rakshasa demands he consume those trapped fiends, evolve beyond limits, and finish the mission. Confused, Chen wonders why a monster would trust a human. The entity explains that even in the depths of hell, honor exists alongside absolute depravity. One bloodthirsty fiend butchered its whole kin for sport, a truly sadistic slaughter for fun. Since that dark era, it has craved vengeance against that monster. Now, it sees the perfect vessel to fulfill its bloodlust. It claims another was correct about him being their ultimate weapon for retribution. Chen demands to know their identity. The beast simply states that truth lies within the spire, sounding like a mysterious old master. With its dying breath, it surrenders all, its lingering essence to him. In exchange, the demon declares he must ascend as the mightiest human alive. It will be no simple feat to slay and swallow every nightmare hiding within those walls. Every single one of those lethal predators will be a god-tier obstacle to conquer. The beast gives one last warning, stating that only those with a bottomless thirst for power can wield Rakshasa's divine strength. That burning ambition is needed to execute every demon king. Suddenly, its form collapses into a radiant orb of pure essence. Chen absorbs it instantly, gaining 8 levels and 2 legendary blades. Without a second thought, he takes the oath, promising to honor the fallen warrior's final request. Besides the massive stat gains, he can now harvest souls from both humans and beasts while controlling gravity. At dawn, he slowly awakens, back in his dorm room. He jumps in shock as a thunderous voice shatters the silence. His friends are ready and yell at him to hurry up before they miss class. Noticing his physical form is perfectly healed, he wonders if that hellish encounter was just a fever dream. But his system interface proves otherwise. The power is real. Having leaped from level 2 straight to level 10, he wonders about his new ranking. Suddenly, his friend starts teasing him. He mocks how a certain someone was bragging about him last night, claiming he was some sort of god-tier warrior. Malong hides in the corner, acting like he is innocent. Regardless, his buddy dares him to show his skills during the exam. That test determines who is worthy of being the dorm leader. On the way to campus, the arrogant Alpha explains to his followers that every tier is split into 3 sub-ranks. So despite everyone being rank E commoners he parades around as a mid-E rank, mocking the real bottom-tier losers. His ego swells, obsessed with the canyon-sized gaps between the tiers. Drowning in delusion, this clown claims his power is peaking today. He's convinced a rank up is coming after his secret training. Annoyed, Malong tells him to quit playing and get serious. He needs to secure a rank D today just to shut him up. Peace depends on it. They finally reach the bustling school gates. Anxiety grips the crowd as the ranking ceremony finally begins. Bully kings march in, ready to crush anyone who dares stare. The dorm king's smirk vanishes the moment these predators appear. Surprisingly, even the thugs lose their nerve when they see him. They instantly bow, showing total submission to the legendary Chen. The roommates freeze, realizing Malong's wild claims were all true. The truth hurts. Our hero simply ignores the barking dogs nearby. He minds his business until a new predator blocks his path. It's Jian, the council's enforcer, looking for blood with a smile. He gives a polite warning that reeks of pure hidden malice. The president wants payment for the fool who hit his brother. Sensing a storm, Chen's friends instantly vanish into the shadows. They fear Jian, the heartless beast who does the dirty work. His roommates tremble, wondering why a rank D monster is here. Why would a powerhouse target a supposed low-rank failure? Jian invades his space, acting like a loyal snarling mutt. He brags his hunter's nose can sniff out true inner strength. To him, our protagonist reeks of a pathetic, weak loser. Amused Chen fires a savage insult that breaks the dog's mind. Called a mutt, Jian snaps, but his master suddenly intervenes. The council president orders him to heal before a scene starts. He knows the truth. His brother was the one who started. Getting beaten was just the price for being a weakling. Still, his glare is a blade warning of a future debt. Our hero doesn't flinch meeting the elite's pressure head-on. Suddenly, the professor announces the start of the rank assessment. Every student is called forward to face their ultimate fate. The president retreats, thinking his intimidation has already won. He assumes this bug will never dare cause trouble again. High above, mysterious eyes watch the drama with intense interest. A man asks the vice president why she's observing rookies. She smiles cryptically, sensing a monster hidden in the crowd. This year, she whispers, is going to be truly legendary. Sang Zhou's name echoes. The dorm king finally feels the fear. He enters the chamber where the air turns heavy as lead. The trial occurs deep within a terrifying high-tech demon lair. A pulsating demon heart waits to judge their inner potential. Once they release their energy, their true soul is revealed. Channeling his peak strength, the signal finally reaches Earth. The moment of truth arrives, but the dorm king's rank remains unchanged. Confusion clouds the professor's face as the potential scan stalls unexpectedly. Minutes tick by while Malong watches the flickering digits with bated breath. Finally, Shangzhou's limit appears settling at a disappointing C rank. Dejected, the king retreats, realizing his supposed growth was merely an illusion. As reality shatters his ego, his loyal roommates offer hollow words of comfort. They insist they're all cursed together, forever trapped in the bottom E rank. C rank is their absolute ceiling. Suddenly, the president's arrogant lackey struts forward. Despite his low D status, his latent potential screams A rank brilliance. Despair hits Chen's roommates as a 10th student breaks into the D rank tier. The faculty stands frozen, shocked by this unprecedented wave of high-tier talent. Breaking into D rank without battlefield experience is supposed to be impossible. E rankers rarely transcend. Anticipation peaks as the next name is summoned. Now the president steps up, bearing the heavy weight of everyone's hopes. Every eye fixes on Gongting, the legendary student turned guildmaster. He glides onto the stage while our protagonist remains eerily composed. He awaits the verdict. The entire academy remembers Gongting's humble beginnings. 2 years ago, he was mere low D. The academy's record was only mid D. Now everyone wonders if the president will finally shatter the historical ceiling. Deep within the demon lair, ancient eyes snap open, sensing his presence. Forced to hold back, the president still burns to leave an unforgettable mark. He intends to dominate the graduation, etching his name into the eternal archives. As he's crowned number 1, his potential gauge erupts in a golden light. Disbelief strikes the faculty as Gongting's high D rank sends shockwaves through. The crowd roars in chaos, but the true surprise is yet to come. Behold, the Academy's first ever S-rank potential has finally been born. Sycophants worship him, while Chen's roommates are consumed by pure envy. They witness a legend rising. The professors whisper frantically in the shadows. Word must reach the high administration instantly. This changes everything. This S-rank miracle must be guarded like the crown jewel of the nation. No foreign power can take him. He is the youngest prodigy ever. Already a guild titan, he's set to catapult the school's reputation to god tier. Headlines will burn with his name. Principal Yuan Long watches from above. He realizes Ling Yu knew all along. That explains her mysterious presence today. She arrived to witness this awakening, but she's hiding an even deeper secret. The president isn't her only target. Beyond the flashy displays, another awaits. Someone far more fascinating lurks here. Right on cue, the mystery begins. The enigmatic student is summoned. Jean decides to stir the pot with malice. He sneers at the urban legend, launching a barrage of toxic insults. He warns him not to fail, like the E-rank garbage he calls friends. Failing now would make them the laughingstock of the entire elite academy. It would be an absolute disgrace for such trash to stand here. This sacred event is no place for losers. Long eagerly joins the mockery. He boldly swears to crush everyone in his path. All eyes are glued to the stage. The crowd watches in breathless anticipation. Chen enters the demon lair. The demon heart shudders under his suffocating pressure. Our hero plots his next move. For an Awakener, the path to greatness is simple. Elite guilds are the only goal. Only overwhelming power will grant him entry. The graduation trial is everything. Candidates must handpick their ultimate squad to survive. They form a 10-man unit. The top-ranked team secures immediate high-level recruitment. The legendary Imperial Guild awaits. Every spectator knows the immense stakes of this test. Jean begins scouting. He presents another bottom-tier D-rank pawn to his superior. He boasts of their complete roster. Their ranks are filled with standard D-rank fodder. With the president's brother enlisted, victory is practically guaranteed for their team. Chen knows the world's cold law. The strong gravitate toward power, forming unstoppable alliances. The weak huddle together in shadows. It is the cruel reality of survival. Dead weight is purged instantly. As time passes, Long's composure begins to shatter. The screen remains dead silent. Whispers fill the air. Is Chen just a weakling? Perhaps he is so insignificant, the system cannot even detect his presence. Jean scoffs, labeling the others as trash. To him, they are beneath contempt. He urges a quick exit. But suddenly, the entire atmosphere begins to shift. The monitor flickers to life. A high D-rank rating flashes across the display. Shockwaves ripple through the stadium. The unexpected data leaves the audience reeling. They stare in total disbelief. Jean freezes mid-step, his jaw hitting the floor. The results defy all expectations. Murmurs grow as the rank holds firm. Was Chen concealing his true strength? The hidden truth is finally coming to light. Pure chaos erupts. Every face in the crowd is frozen in absolute shock. Even the president and council are stunned. This anomaly was never in the script, but a strange glitch emerges. It turns out that Chen is playing a game. He is gauging his raw physical limits in his base unawakened form. Satisfied with the D-rank baseline, he prepares to unleash his true nature. He invokes the Infernal Death King, the weakest soul in his vast collection. The rank skyrockets to mid-C. The spectators are blown away by the surge. The council questions the machine's sanity. Even the scientists begin to panic. They scramble for answers as the numbers fluctuate wildly. Logic is failing them. Is the device finally breaking? Suddenly, a terrifying resonance shakes the room. The demon heart pulses with instability. The readings take another impossible turn. Chen shifts gears again. He summons the soul of the purgatory Rakshasa. The demon heart screams in terror. Outside, a violent storm tears the sky apart. Jean bellows in confusion. But others see a divine omen rewriting history. A monster has been born among them. Suddenly, the potential rating flickers. S rank. The scientists and President Ting stand paralyzed by the impossible sight. A scarlet warning blares. The subject's potential has exceeded the system's maximum capacity. His power is immeasurable. Jean's mind completely shorts out from the mental shock. His soul nearly flees his body. No one prepared for this cataclysmic surge. This strength is legendary. High-ranking officials can only watch in stunned silence. Mana swirls in a chaotic dance. Are they witnessing the descent of a god? Chen remains the calm center of the storm. Jean's sanity hangs by a thread. His world is collapsing. His very soul is ready to abandon his body. Total chaos erupted as the system literally disintegrated. Scientists scrambled in panic as the pressure peaked. They would protect that student at any cost. But upon arrival, they froze in utter shock. The demon heart was now a shriveled husk. Completely incinerated, Chen had pushed it too far. He had terrified the artifact before devouring it. He gained divine insight and danger-sensing instincts. Leaving the lair, a satisfied smirk finally emerged. Ranks appeared everywhere, revealing one shocking secret. The president was hiding a pathetic, weak truth. A mere C rank. The scientists emerged awkwardly. They claimed the heart suffered a fatal overload. Testing was suspended, calling Chen's stats a glitch. A full report would soon reach the authorities. Students were ordered back for tomorrow's final evaluation. A new device would be ready by then. Walking back, his roommates began the wild hype. He was a total legend after that performance. Jing's jealousy exploded as he screamed fraud. He demanded payment like a bitter, sore loser. Just as Chen prepared to incinerate the brat, Ting intervened, silencing Jing with a cold warning. Jian watched stunned as Ting extended his hand. He invited the new powerhouse onto the team. He promised they would shatter every historical record. Jian's mind spiraled into a total mental breakdown. Someone was getting ruthlessly kicked off the squad. Replacing a member for Chen meant pure war. Joining Ting's team meant an instant first-place win. He wondered what made Chen so damn special. Others couldn't even bribe their way in here. He swallowed his pride with a forced welcome. He reached for Chen's shoulder with visible hesitation. Chen slapped it away with icy cold indifference. He had zero interest in their pathetic group. Ting watched silently, while Jian finally snapped. He ranted that their team was already number one. They were undisputed kings, yet Chen walked away. He dismissed them entirely without looking back once. He called the group too noisy to tolerate. "Don't bother me," he warned, leaving Jian fuming. Humiliated, Jian burned. Gossip spread through school. Everyone whispered about Chen's insane rejection of Ting. He would take first place alone, surpassing everyone. The rankings are out. The entire campus is buzzing as the real drama begins to ignite. Nearby, Chen's roommates savor the delicious sight of pure, unadulterated humiliation washing over Jian and Ting's stunned faces. Following that brutal, public rejection, the president keeps his mask on, telling Jian not to fret about Chen's defiant path. His composure remains chillingly perfect. Suddenly, the principal, observing from the shadows, heaves a heavy sigh of regret. His dream of an unstoppable duo has crumbled before his eyes. He envisioned them shattering school records as one. Yet, Ling claims things have actually become much more thrilling. She notes that Ting was born into absolute privilege. To him, this kind of rejection is nothing less than a formal declaration of total war. Ling warns that the president becomes a monster when his elite pride is wounded. He won't let this disrespect slide quietly. Jian fusses, barking that Chen's ego has exploded over a mere rank C testing glitch. However, Ting senses a deeper, darker possibility. What if that rank wasn't an error at all? Even if the odds are 0, he refuses to let anyone threaten his throne at the top. Jian scoffs, remembering that Chen is just a common student with 0 combat experience. Meanwhile, the elite student council members have endured hellish training inside secret demon lairs for years to reach their current peak. He offers to personally crush Chen for his unforgivable arrogance, but Ting silences him, asking if he truly thinks his president is that petty. Jian freezes quickly, bowing in apology, while Ting abandons their plans, leaving Jian to deal with the fallout alone. With a gaze of ice, he declares that Jian's actions are his own. Jian instantly reads between the lines. No more words are needed. 10 minutes later, a spy arrives with news. Chen has already vanished from the school grounds. He claimed he needed to head home. Apparently, Chen didn't even stop for a meal, making him an easy target. Jian grins at this stroke of luck, his blood boiling with the chance to break Chen where no witnesses can interfere. As Chen walks, shadows of his past life flicker in his mind. He remembers a legendary guild that met a gruesome end while raiding a demon lair in Saint He country. Deep inside, they awoke a calamity known as wrath, leading to their instant slaughter. Not a single soul survived. That monster then descended upon the human world, leaving only ashes and ruin behind. And, though the memories are fragmented, Chen's resolve is absolute. He must find that lair in this timeline. But first he needs a massive fortune. He sets his sights on the Mithril Monster Exchange Center immediately. He knows that this very facility under the Mithril Guild will become the nation's greatest trading hub. In this era of power, the true strength of an individual. In this world, an Awakener's true worth is carved in steel. High-tier gear defines your power and your destiny. The exchange is the lifeblood of item trading. But for Chen, it's merely a shortcut to his hidden goals. He needs quick cash to fuel his ascent. This small transaction is just the prologue to his grand design. He slides a handful of fangs across the counter. The broker narrows his eyes, oozing pure, cold suspicion. How does a mere student find such loot, he sneers. Chen shrugs, claiming they dropped from a recent kill. The broker scoffs in disbelief at the rare find. Suddenly, his assistant gasps, her eyes widening in total shock. These are beast sanguine fangs from E-class monsters. Legends say they can forge weapons of incredible power. They can craft a rare E-grade cloud scepter. Or ground into dust, they become potent magical catalysts. The arrogant broker slams the fang down with contempt. He sneers, dismissing the precious loot as worthless garbage. E-grade trash is beneath us, he boasts loudly. He brags that this exchange only serves the elite VIPs. We only deal with high society powerhouses, he snaps. D-grade items are the bare minimum for my time. He blames the low-tier loot for his own ignorance. Inside, he fumes over the lack of high-ranking clients. The shortage of VIPs is grating on his nerves. He sees no profit in entertaining a peasant like Chen. This boy won't help his career climb at all. He sighs, calling the entire meeting a total nuisance. He shoves the duty onto Assistant Li without care. She bows politely, handing Chen a stack of cash. Do you require anything else today, sir? Chen checks the envelope and finds the payment surprisingly fair. He nods to the girl and prepares to leave. Meanwhile, the bitter broker continues to grumble in the corner. Chen steps into the crisp city air outside. He feels the satisfying heavy weight of coins in his pocket. This is only the first of many legendary deals. But he clearly needs a shop that respects true value. A sharp blade and reinforced armor are next. He vanishes into the crowd, heading toward the residential district. Training resumes at the academy tomorrow at dawn. The path to the absolute peak is long and brutal. Yet with every victory, his unique power surges. He won't let some mid-tier coward block his path. Chen checks his watch and hurries toward home. 18,000 credits will solve his rent problems tonight. His financial stress vanishes in an instant. Then he reaches back and draws his hidden glowing trump card. He unsheathes the radiant greatsword from the Purgatory Rakshasa. The blade's ethereal aura instantly paralyzes the assistant. She's never felt such overwhelming power before. Breathless, she whispers that it must be at least B grade. Or perhaps even an A grade relic, she gasps. The broker returns, laughing at her wild fantasy. He scoffs at her claim with pure arrogance. A grade items cost over 1 million and are legendary. I've worked here for years, he barks loudly. A mere student holding an A-grade weapon is impossible. He argues that such treasures are beyond human reach. He insists he has never seen one in reality. At that exact moment, the shop owner arrives. He speaks with a voice that commands absolute chilling silence. This item is neither A-grade nor B-grade. The broker smirks, thinking his boss caught a fake. He praises his master's sharp eyes with a grin. He knew a student couldn't possess anything of value. But the owner's hands begin to tremble violently. This weapon hums with the dark energy of purgatory. This isn't just a sword, it's a miracle. The owner reveals the truth that shatters their reality. This is an S-grade artifact of destruction. Both the broker and assistant suffer a mental meltdown. Their expressions freeze in absolute soul-crushing disbelief. The owner lunges forward and grabs Chen's hands. He welcomes him as a god-tier honored guest. He begs Chen to step into the private VIP sanctum. Please make any request you desire, he pleads. Chen smirks his plan, unfolding exactly as he intended. He knew the owner Qingjur would show himself. Now, the real high-stakes game is about to begin. After settling into the plush VIP chairs, they talk. The guild boss asks for his final selling price. Our hero doesn't hesitate for even a second. 1 million, he declares, leaving the boss completely stunned. The room goes silent as the figure sinks. Chen's eyes flash with the confidence of a true predator. The deal of a lifetime is finally on. The owner stares, realizing he's facing someone truly extraordinary. The legend of the S-grade merchant begins. Chen has finally claimed his place at the top. The manager eyes the blade, realizing it could fetch tens of millions of dollars. It is a priceless treasure, yet Chen makes a truly shocking and bold counter-proposal. He simply wants a $1 million loan for 30 days using the sword as collateral. The man is stunned, realizing our hero is far more cunning and intelligent than he looks. Who is this kid? Chen adds. He will repay the entire principal in 30 days, followed by the interest shortly after. His confidence is absolutely chilling and unshakable. Sensing a massive deal, the boss orders his assistant to leave the room immediately. Once they are alone, the man reveals he knows exactly where Chen comes from. He identifies Chen as a student from the prestigious National Awakener University class. He knows the final graduation trial is scheduled to take place in 30 days. The prize is $1 million. He stares directly into our hero's eyes with intensity. Are you truly that certain you will take the top spot in that test? The boss activates his sharp intuition, realizing that Chen is desperate for money and has no other options. This was a desperate move born of absolute and dire necessity. Surprisingly, he offers $1.5 million immediately, with absolutely zero interest attached. Extending his hand, he grins, declaring the start of a legendary and beautiful partnership. Chen is stunned. The man promises total secrecy regarding their confidential transaction today. Not a single soul will ever know what happened within these four walls. His only condition, Chen must bring all future treasures exclusively to this guild for trading. Chen is impressed. This man saw everything clearly, yet chose not to exploit him. Despite knowing Chen's weakness, the boss acted with surprising integrity and respect. Now it makes sense why this man becomes a global titan in the near future. He firmly shakes the man's hand, knowing that strong allies are vital if he intends to crush the Demon Lord. The contract is signed. Seconds later, a massive fortune hits his bank account instantly. The boss offers a loaner weapon for the trial since he just surrendered his own blade. While S-rank gear is rare, his vault is overflowing with top-tier A-rank equipment to use. Chen just smiles. Suddenly, he summons another massive greatsword out of thin air effortlessly. The staff watches in awe as our hero casually departs with yet another hidden masterpiece. Impressed, the boss promotes the pink-haired assistant to supervisor on the spot. For landing such a VIP, Chen pauses, remembering one last crucial purchase he needed. He returns to the counter briefly. Hours later, he waits patiently at the bus stop. Standing there, memories of his past life flood back, filled with bitter struggle and pain. He crawled from the gutters, while the world treated him like worthless, disposable trash. Backbreaking labor was his reality. He and his sister lived like desperate, starving ghosts, scrapping for every penny. Back then, Yoon had been accepted into her dream university, but she sacrificed her future, claiming the campus was simply too far away from him. In truth, she was terrified of becoming a heavy financial burden on her brother. Shaking off the past, he scans the crowd. Why hasn't she shown up yet? His eyes search frantically until a familiar sharp voice echoes through the air. She calls him stupid for waiting at the entrance instead of the exit gates. Lugging a massive suitcase, she sighs that their bank account is bone dry once again. Rent took every cent. But Chen stands frozen, overwhelmed with raw and deep emotion. 7 long years have passed since he last saw her face. It feels completely unreal. This time he will provide everything. His power and wealth are now her shield. She snaps at him to stop staring and help her with all the heavy luggage. Seeing his daze, she waves a hand to snap him back to reality. Suddenly, Chen lunges forward, pulling her into an unexpectedly tight embrace. After a frozen heartbeat, she uses her secret poke technique to break free. Breathless, she scolds the boy for nearly crushing the life out of her. She teases that he's acting suspicious. Did his secret crush finally reject him? Chen just brushes it off, keeping his heavy secrets hidden behind a smile. They begin walking as she starts rambling about her upcoming school exams. Despite her constant chatter, Chen feels happy to listen to every single word. In this life, he swears a silent oath to never let her suffer. Meanwhile, shadows stir in a nearby alleyway where several thugs lie in wait. After confirming, our hero will pass, Jian orders his goons to stay hidden. Jian tells his goons to stay low until their target finally shows up. With a twisted grin, he vows to ambush and punish the boy tonight. A manic smile spreads across his face as he imagines his coming revenge. One thug nervously asks if things will get ugly, if the situation spirals. The assassin scoffs, his pride wounded, and his temper reaching a boiling point. He initially wanted to teach a lesson, but recent events have truly enraged him. Recalling the humiliation Chen caused, he commands his men to leave him something. He swears to teach our hero a lesson he will never, ever forget. Jian boasts about being the best while drooling over his target's coming agony. Back with our hero, Yoon notices his strange behavior and suspects exam stress. She jokes that a weakling like him shouldn't think too much about it. Yoon senses his strange vibe and teases that a weakling shouldn't overthink things, reminding him of his own advice to always keep moving forward. He once told her to persevere, no matter what, and leave the rest to fate. To lift his spirits, she begins singing a motivational song as they enter the alley. Chen is moved by her kind heart and her sharp, perceptive nature, but she remains oblivious to the fact that he has already awakened hidden powers. She has no idea he is now rich, wondering if his confidence is just pride. She questions if her brother is finally maturing into a real, dependable man. In the distance, a scout informs Jian that a girl is with the target. This news delights the scumbag, making their plan even more thrillingly cruel. With no cameras around, Chen instantly senses the murderous intent lurking ahead. He recognizes the trash. It's those same arrogant scumbags from the student council. Pulling out his earbuds, he gently places them in his sister's ears. He tells her to enjoy a track he likes masking the coming violence. Caught off guard by his unusual gesture, she decides to trust and listen. Chen turns back, his eyes sharp as daggers targeting the advancing men. As music plays, he glares at the scumbags emerging from the dark. The battle ignites as Chen immediately switches to his deadly lightning class. He remembers 7 years of sorrow after losing his only remaining family. Now reunited, his heart burns with a rage these thugs cannot imagine. He marvels at their audacity, wondering where they found such foolish courage. He blurs like a lightning bolt, striking the first thug with incredible speed. A powerful impact sends the man flying, leaving the others sweating in terror. They realize they are doomed as he charges his next devastating attack. He delivers a triple dose of knuckle sandwiches in a heartbeat, before finishing the fourth thug with a bone-shattering knee strike. A fool tries to interfere, but Chen snaps his wrist like dry wood. Bone splinters instantly. The thug's agonized scream pierces the air, only to be silenced by a heavy fist crushing his nose. Watching his squad crumble, Jian freezes in absolute terror. When did this weakling become a monster? Chen's onslaught continues. He carves a bloody path toward the elite cloud assassin. Cornered at last, Jian desperately clings to his fading ego, convincing himself that his rank makes him impossible to defeat. But our hero is here to deliver a brutal reality check. A thunderous punch sends him flying, yet the nightmare isn't over. Chen lunges, unleashing a barrage that shatters both teeth and pride. The assassin tumbles like a broken doll before crashing hard. Slumped against a wall, he meets the gaze of a demon. Chen looms over the pathetic wreck, now stripped of all dignity. He whispers a chilling reminder to stay away, for good. Staring into his soul, he asks if the scum understands speech. Beaten and broken, the man can no longer feel his limbs. Every bone in his body is shattered from the devastation. Terrified of the beast, he wheezes out a pathetic apology. Chen silences him, pressing a cold blade against his throat. The assassin sees it, zero hesitation to kill. This is no student. He wonders what kind of hell could create such a monster. With icy malice, Chen commands him to remember these words. Unless he wants to experience this living nightmare all over again. Next time, he won't leave enough left to bury. That was the final warning. Then comes the real threat. Step near his sister, and he will gladly erase your existence. He will hunt everyone they love. Then he drops the blade. He returns to Yuni's side before the final notes even fade. His sister is overwhelmed, moved to tears by the haunting melody. The lyrics sting her heart, making her fear her brother's pain. She wonders if her love failed to protect his soul. Turning to demand answers, she suddenly freezes in her tracks. The words vanish when she spots the gift in his hand. The gold-plated pen of her dreams is right there before her. Her face flushes crimson as pure excitement takes over. He actually bought the holographic pen that cost a small fortune. Her radiant joy melts his heart, making the struggle worth it. She is torn knowing they can't afford such a luxury. Hiding his bloody knuckles, Chen makes a silent, sacred vow. He will protect her smile and her future, no matter the cost. At home, Yuni happily paints dreams in the air with light. Chen eats his ramen in peace, content in her happiness. Despite the lavish gift, worry still gnaws at her heart. She fears he's spending far too much. They haven't even secured next month's rent yet. But with a confident smirk, he unveils the truth. An entire year's rent is already paid in full. Big Brother boasts about a booming business venture. Apparently, his new partnership is thriving. Yet Yunyun's sharp intuition triggers a gaze of pure suspicion. This convenient tale doesn't fool her for a second. Even so, she chooses not to pry further. It's been ages since she witnessed such joy. She can't recall the last time he laughed freely. Placing a gentle hand on his shoulder, she softens. She has only one earnest request for him. Whatever secret path he's walking, he must be cautious. He cannot afford to burn himself out. Deep within a silent aquarium, tension rises. President Ting delivers a chilling report to his cousin. The city's finest physicians have delivered their verdict. The legendary top assassin has been critically broken. His wounds are far beyond any hope of healing. More than half the bones in his body are pulverized. His frame is shattered beyond the reach of medicine. His clash with Chen was a fatal error. The president never anticipated such a violent encounter. Yet the gruesome state of the survivor is worse. The aftermath of that duel is utterly soul-crushing. However, his cousin remains unfazed, reacting with icy indifference. Her only concern is the shrinking pool of talent. Fewer elite graduate students will join his team. The recruitment numbers are plummeting as we speak. But the president's heart is just as stone-cold. He scoffs, claiming his efficiency will only skyrocket. He's better off without that useless NPC weighing him down. That failure was nothing more than an anchor. Suddenly, the Academy's director, their uncle, breaks his long silence. The director of employment finally takes the floor. Gongwen delivers his situational report with chilling composure. He reveals the truth behind our hero's latest gambit. The exhaustive investigation into the chaos is finally complete. Every moment of the ranking ceremony, disaster was scrutinized. The definitive report has finally landed in their hands. The data leaves absolutely no room for denial. Chen's true standing dwarfs that of the other students. Chen has officially surpassed the elite rank of the council president. This revelation strikes the former number one like a thunderbolt. The director then offers a stern warning. His father has summoned a vice chairman of the alliance. This high-ranking official will judge his combat performance. The alliance will be watching his every move. He must outshine everyone to prove his worth. Should he fall short of these expectations, the director has a secret backup plan ready. The green-haired prodigy, his uncle's prized niece, will intervene. She'll ensure his team seizes the top spot. Yet the council president rejects the help with pride. He claims his true power remains hidden. That assessment was merely a fraction of his might. President Ting remains convinced of his superiority. Fueled by overwhelming hubris, he makes a bold vow. He will crush the entire academy alone. Returning to the dorms, our protagonist rinses away sweat. He's just finished a grueling weighted run. With iron plates lining his pack, his focus is razor sharp. He is obsessed with a single goal. He must seize the $1 million grand prize. The upcoming graduation exam is his final battlefield. This is his one chance to honor his contract, his pact with the Mithril Guild and Qingji. He aims to forge an unbreakable trade alliance with them. a partnership built on absolute mutual profit. With the deadline looming just weeks away, he retreats. But he isn't lying down for rest. He's entering a dream state to continue his relentless grind. He descends into the demon lair. The colossal void tower looms over him. He ascends the endless stairs toward the gate. Without a shred of doubt, he advances. His first assessment with the Gravehound class was graded at a formidable high-tier S rank. However, that was nothing compared to his other power, the raw energy of his Abyssal Fiend class. It instantly caused the evaluation system to malfunction. Not even the legendary Demon Heart could contain it. It failed to categorize his infinite potential. His limits remained unmeasurable, defying every law. To truly gauge his explosive growth, he must shatter all expectations. His true potential is simply infinite. The path forward clears. He unlocks the Void Tower's gate. Ready for blood, he steps into the heat of battle. He wonders what brutal horrors await him in this hell. The sight within is shocking, a realm beyond all reason. He stands upon a massive white moon drifting in space. One step. Gravity slams him down like a fallen god. This is the Star Wastes, a world of crushing force. 10 times gravity threatens to pulverize his very bones. The door vanishes. There is no longer a way back. To escape this gravity hell, the boss must die. Adapt or die. He must master this weight immediately. A phantom lion stalks, showing no mercy for him. Forced to act, he invokes his lightning class's speed. He dodges a lethal lunge and strikes the shoulder. It roars in fury. The strike barely drew blood. His blade was imprecise. The weight is too much. Every movement feels sluggish, like wading through thick mud. The predator pounces, pinning him against the hard ground. It prepares to feast, perfectly adapted to this gravity. He endures the bite, waiting for his perfect moment. Suddenly he transforms. The Abyssal Fiend awakens within him. Stats shift instantly, trading speed for overwhelming physical power. Raw strength and stamina become his new survival tools. He slams the beast down, reclaiming control of battle. Rakshasa's gravity control is his ultimate weapon here. A triple force multiplier slams down, making the lion scream. No mercy. He grinds the monster into lunar dust. He collapses, gasping, as the system grants a level up. He learns that every class carries a star rating. Stars define the power surge gained during each switch. The Purgatory Rakshasa stands as his most powerful form. Yet, even this power struggled against a B-rank beast. The peak of Triple S power is still far away. Gluttony remains silent, refusing to devour the fallen phantom. No exit appears. The true nightmare is just starting. A massive gate opens, revealing dozens of glowing eyes. Reality hits hard. One lion was just a warm-up. An army of B-rank monsters floods the White Plains. They swarm him, a whirlwind of teeth and claws. Rakshasa's warning rings true. The tower is built on suffering. His destiny is paved with endless agony and blood. He must endure the pain to reach new heights. This relentless horde will test his absolute resolve tonight. Survival depends on his evolving power. The climb starts. He will face the darkness and grow through suffering. Survival. Chen snaps awake, gasping for air, as if he just crawled back from the absolute depths of hell. His roommate sleeps soundly, oblivious to the phantom pain of monsters tearing his very soul apart. He finally understands. The Purgatory Void Tower is no easy shortcut to godhood. This is merely the opening act of a brutal, blood-soaked climb to the top. Weeks fly by until graduation day arrives. Powerful eyes from the elite guilds watch the stage with hunger. Strict new rules are dropped. Every squad must include at least one high E-rank student to qualify. The selection begins. Suddenly, every student's hidden rank is exposed for the entire world to see. It is a ruthless marketplace. Students scramble to recruit the strongest, sorted from the elite down to the trash. But Maong freezes. Even Chen is stunned as he searches for his name among the legends. There he is, right at the very bottom. A wave of mocking whispers sweeps through the crowd. How could a legendary S-rank Awakener fall to the absolute lowest rank in the entire academy? The jealous losers start jeering. They are convinced his high rank was just a glitch in the system, yet they cannot ignore his raw pressure. Having a monster like him could skyrocket their final scores. Council President Ting watches in silence. The crowd sneers at the fool who dared to reject the president's mercy. Little do they know the puppet master is his own uncle, Gong Xuan. The snake thought his sabotage was perfect. He rigged the rankings to crush his nephew's spirit before everyone. He wanted Chen isolated and unwanted. But Chen was no longer the pathetic weakling he used to be. The Void Tower had tempered him into living steel. He stood tall, unfazed by their pathetic laughter. A fake rank meant nothing. Soon the arena would run red, and his true power would explode. The moment of truth was coming. The VIPs leaned in, sensing a storm brewing within the teams. The keenest observers felt it. President Ting narrowed his eyes, sensing a dormant beast within the boy. Tension thickened the air like fog. Chen exhaled slowly, readying himself for the ultimate trial. The villain smirked, certain his trap was airtight. No sane person would recruit a bottom-ranked loser. His plan was cold and simple. By burying Chen at the bottom, he would never even qualify. Without a team, he could never challenge the president's throne. Rewind to just a few hours ago. The classroom was a circus. Everyone was begging President Ting for a chance to join his elite squad. They groveled and flattered, desperate for a carry. But Chung ruthlessly cut them down with a cold glare. Only one final seat remained. Back in the present, the field is set, and the weak are abandoned. Every student has found a home, leaving the outcasts of the weakest dorm completely alone. Long sighs in defeat. They begged everyone, but no one wants to carry their dead weight. With only 4 members, they are disqualified. They cannot even set foot on the exam grounds. Long rages at the injustice. It is too convenient that Chen was demoted to the very bottom rank. This sabotage makes him a liability, stripping away their right to even compete. The rules are a cage. Without a high-ranked leader, their group is effectively dead on arrival. It was a targeted strike. The graduation test is their only shot to be scouted by the legendary guilds. Fail here and their futures vanish. In this trial, the stakes are higher than ever. More teammates mean more monsters. Numbers provide no safety in this hellish arena. There is no room for baggage. That is why everyone treats the weak like a terminal disease. An extra burden is a death sentence. To the elites, these boys are just walking failures. To make it worse, the 3 lowest-ranked students are roommates. They are completely cast out. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the tension. A student gestures towards Zuo with a smirk. "Hey Zuo, we have 1 spot left. Why waste your talent?" The guy whispers poison, asking Zuo if he really wants to fail by staying with these pathetic losers. Chen's eyes narrow. If this betrayal goes through, their entire team is finished before the fight even starts. If this continues, they'll face total elimination. Their chances of qualifying are vanishing into thin air. They can't even compete. But the dorm king snarls, refusing to ditch his loyal brothers. The elites storm off fuming, yet he warns them not to underestimate the weak. Scanning the roster, Long reveals a grim truth. Nearly everyone has already found their partners. They only need 1 more member, but the entire school treats them like plague. Meanwhile, our boy glares at the director, sensing a foul conspiracy in this game. He connects the dots. The director and the council president share the same corrupt bloodline. Seeing these dirty moves, Chen wonders if Gongguan is actually terrified of his power. Refusing to yield, he vows to conquer the tournament regardless of their underhanded tactics. Blue lightning erupts. The air crackles as his true energy finally explodes forth. Since they've dropped the act, he'll stop holding back his devastating lightning arts now. With a pro's cold composure, he steps forward, leaving the shocked officials utterly speechless. The room falls silent. Even his roommates wonder what monster has possessed their friend. Chen recalls the iron rule in this school: strength is the only language spoken. To create a competitive hell, students can challenge anyone anytime to prove their worth. This isn't just showing off, it's the only way to earn respect in this jungle. Most would tremble and flee, but Chen knows the blonde president won't back down. If he drapes that elite brat in defeat, everyone will beg for his favor. Suddenly, a mysterious beauty appears at the door, asking if they still need help. She demands to join the graduation test, her presence radiating an aura of grace. The vice president drops a bombshell: she reached high rank back in middle school. His roommate's jaws hit the floor. How did he land such a legendary, gorgeous ally? Chung and Ting are paralyzed in shock, while the director nearly chokes on water. The crowd whispers in awe. Why would an elite exchange student join these losers? Rumors swirl. She hails from the Saint Kingdom, a realm of pure godlike power. The director loses it, screaming that exchange students are strictly barred from this test. He claims Ling hasn't proven her rank here, making her participation a total violation. Without warning, the principal manifests. His sudden aura freezes every student in their tracks. Gong nearly suffers a heart attack. Why is the school's living legend intervening now? The principal questions her motives. Why risk everything for such a short academy stay? Meanwhile, Chen is stunned. How did a warrior class master use high-level space teleportation? The old man warns her entry would make the competition a total slaughterhouse. Ling just smiles, enigmatically, playing along with the legend's cryptic and terrifying mind games. Chen breaks into a sweat, unable to even measure these 2 monsters' true levels. The director desperately backs the principal, praying the rules will keep her away. But the principal's tone shifts, speaking of the school's duty to forge true legends. The graduation test is more than a ritual. It's a battlefield where destiny is decided. Our hero is caught off guard. How did the principal teleport with such speed? The old man explains it wouldn't be fair if a monster like her participated. Ling simply plays along while Chen sweats, unable to sense their immense power levels. He realizes he's facing true apex predators. Finally, the director finds his shaky voice. He desperately supports the principal, claiming the school cannot function without its sacred rules. The principal's gaze suddenly softens as he speaks of the Academy's true divine purpose. This place exists to nurture young monsters, giving them the perfect environment to grow. Here, Awakeners are forged into legendary warriors who will eventually dominate the world. This test isn't just a tradition, it's the sacred turning point where their legends begin. He challenges them if a student is sidelined by sudden unfair rule changes. How will the Academy compensate for that loss? The director starts sweating. He wonders if his hidden scheme has finally been exposed to everyone. Realizing it's not worth the trouble, he chooses to back down immediately. He tells himself that since the elites formed one team, they'll win. They should easily dominate the assessment regardless of what happens now. The man bows, apologizing as he admits they overlooked the system's flaws. He confesses this setup could prevent students from getting their chance to grow. The director announces that lower-ranked teams and small groups can now participate. This ensures total fairness for everyone entering the upcoming graduation tournament. The 4 roommates form their team, celebrating their chance to take the test. Sitting in back, the principal tells Ling she's way too interested in the kid. Watching from the shadows, the principal tells Ling she is far too interested in the boy. On one side, the student council president leads a squad of the school's most powerful elite players. On the other side, Chen leads 3 underdogs deemed the weakest in school. The old man is curious which deadly cave they will choose for the trial. He wonders how many points they can actually score by the very end. The official announces that all captains can now choose their devil cave. Suddenly his tablet dings. One captain has already made a choice fast. Everyone starts losing their minds when they see which cave Chen selected. His roommates panic and tell him to quickly change his mind now. They ask if he even understands the danger of what he just did. However, our boy remains silent as he continues to stare at the screen. They enter a devil's cave to earn points by slaying monsters. Defeating a monster, Lord and fast completion times give separate points multiplied by the dungeon's overall difficulty. An F-rank dungeon gives up to 75 points, while E-rank offers 100. Can grant up to 75 points, while an E-rank dungeon offers a maximum of 100. The highest scoring team is scouted by the prestigious Imperial Guild for greatness. The top player also receives a reward of 1 million gold units. Coming back, students discuss the record of 90 points set by the leader. Clearing an E-rank dungeon requires at least 3 solid D-rank fighters. This year, Ting's team might actually be able to surpass that record. The display dings, informing everyone that a captain has chosen a cave. The guy is shocked when he sees our boy chose a D-rank dungeon. No one has cleared a D-rank before. Everyone wonders if it's a mistake. Long asks our hero if he hit his head or something crazy. The dorm king completely loses his mind at what he is seeing. The nerd tries to talk sense into Chin, but he is serious. He reveals that he thought long and hard about this risky decision. The system dings again as the student council president selects D-rank 2. Ting's teammates immediately accept their leader's choice, qualifying them for the test. The classroom goes wild at the announcement, while the group acts nonchalant. The blonde goth girl roasts our boy for trying to act tough. She assumes that he only wants attention from the other students here. The bald guy adds that his weak teammates would never agree to this, fearing their squad might shatter. Long searches Chen's eyes and realizes that this is no bluff. Since when did his friend become this formidable? How much has he evolved? Hardening his resolve, the scholar slams the confirm button, placing ultimate faith in his comrade. Yo strikes the green light as well, possessing nothing left to lose. The dorm king scowls, irritated his peers acted before he could. He hits the switch. Instantly, the system validates their squad's entry. Their qualification is official. Surveying his roommates, Chen bows an apology. He confesses selecting this hellhole to seize the absolute top score. He's dragging them into his ambition, yet vows they'll reach the peak together. Hearing this, the president rises, declaring the throne belongs to him alone. Chen pivots, meeting him head-on. Ting's murderous aura flares as he speaks. Only one can reign supreme. Ling watches from behind, completely caught off guard. Never before has she seen such volcanic emotion erupting from his soul. The hidden rivalry between these two has finally ignited into open war. The principal glows with pride, witnessing such fearless determination in his students. Ling's heart sinks. Why would our main character pick a rank D dungeon? Even rank C veterans couldn't solo this. Although the points are legendary, 150 points are tempting, but the risk is suicidal. Moreover, his current teammates are woefully unprepared for such a nightmare. With only 1 month left, the principal knows this gap is impossible to close. They can't possibly grow that fast. yet he silently prays for a miracle. Fast forward 2 weeks. The training field is littered with broken, gasping bodies. Long questions this primitive labor, while rivals enjoy safe, high-tech simulations. Chen's brutal training regime has pushed their sanity to the breaking point. Our hero counters that digital simulations are nothing but a useless illusion. Inside, a true demon cave logic vanishes. Only primal reaction survives. Only raw instinct saves lives. This torture is designed to sharpen them, hardening their vessels to strike like lightning and react before thinking. Ultimate growth requires the baptism of blood within a real deadly dungeon. But for commoners, that's a dream. Only the elite high bloods possess such luxury. They were born superior. And those elites will stop at nothing to remain so, ensuring the common filth never rise, keeping their boots on our necks. They hoard treasures that commoners couldn't earn in 10 lifetimes. Despair fills the dorm king. What can ordinary men do against such fate? Chen's eyes burn. Infiltrate the Imperial Guild, and we shatter this entire system. Revolutionize the world. This graduation exam is our final desperate window, the only path to surpass the nobles. For this dream, Chen stakes everything. He'll sacrifice anything to fulfill his oath. Victory is the only outcome. With 15 days remaining, our hero grinds relentlessly within the Void Tower. Slaying phantom lions is a grueling nightmare that tests his very soul. He refuses to break even as they crush his body into the dirt. 5 days remaining. His roommates are training with a desperate, frantic intensity. Shattering their limits, they prepare for the trial that will define their lives. Failure isn't an option. But our main character, he's transcended into a different realm. This is a whole new realm of suffering. His hellish regimen makes the Hashira's training look like child's play. With 48 hours left, his rival isn't slackening his pace either. But Chen's evolution is supernatural. Now he stands undaunted against a pride of ferocious lions, under bone-crushing gravity. With crimson blood staining his face, he's never looked more like a conqueror. On the exam day, tactical drones hover over the candidates, acting as mechanical guides. The team arrives in matching gear, looking sharper than ever. As their wristbands lock, the final trial officially ignites. Meanwhile, the academy principal greets Gong Lin, the elite father of President Ting. This legend co-founded the Imperial Guild. The students are mesmerized, catching sight of the guild's powerhouse leader. They stare in awe, as if viewing a mythical beast. Excitement surges when the founder and principal welcome a luxurious white limo. Out steps Carl Cavendish, a striking red-haired gentleman. The students lose their minds, identifying him instantly. He is the vice chairman of the World Guild Alliance. A man of his caliber should never be in this humble district. Inside the VIP lounge, the director briefs the high-profile guests. He reports 23 teams are braving the F-rank demon dens. While some chose E-rank, 2 teams dared to pick D-rank lairs. Secretary Crid looks stunned by such a suicidal and reckless choice. Even veterans would hesitate before storming a grade D dungeon unprepared. She openly doubts if the school even cares for student safety. The director counters, stating they knew the risks before signing up. He warned them that rookie Awakeners with 0 combat experience often perish against F-rank fodder. Yet the boss is the true nightmare, possessing power that dwarfs standard mobs. Most squads will eventually crumble at the end, failing to slay the final beast. However, inside E-rank dungeons, the scale changes. Even the lowest grunts rival an F-rank boss in strength. A brutal lesson for students, to learn through blood. The secretary demands to know the safeguards, should things turn fatal. The director offers a confident smile, claiming they cherish their brightest stars. To ensure their survival, an Imperial Guild Guardian stands watch at every single portal, poised to intervene instantly. Furthermore, the enchanted wristbands provide an emergency escape for those who choose to surrender, or face certain death. Despite this, she remains highly skeptical that these kids possess the talent to survive a D-rank hell. She ponders how long they can survive. But the director predicts those E-rank brats will soon be crying for mercy. Shifting now to the frozen D-rank dungeon of jagged ice. Surrounded by glacial trees, Chen's friends tremble in absolute fear. Pure nightmare fuel awaits them, grotesque creatures resembling a twisted hybrid of bat and ape. Chen alerts his squad that these predators strike with the speed of lightning. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Keep your eyes peeled, because suddenly, a swarm of spectral simian beasts lunges straight for their throats. Miraculously, the boys evade those lightning-fast talons by a hair's breadth. While still reeling from surviving a D-rank assault, a greater shock awaits. Our hero stands composed a blade of pure lightning humming in his hand. At his feet, a mountain of monster carcasses already lies cold. He commands them to focus on survival. They aren't battle-ready yet. Leave the rest to me. Suddenly, another beast strikes with supersonic velocity. It's a blur of death, yet they barely manage to slip away. Shanzou realizes the truth. Chen is forcing them to sharpen their instincts. He's pushing them to master explosive speed against these demonic predators. Zhu grits his teeth. The self-proclaimed king of the dorm is humbled. His Majesty's pride stings, forced to rely on a mysterious roommate's mercy. Meanwhile, Chen transforms the battlefield into a graveyard for those ghosts. Wave after wave dives down, seeking blood and easy prey. But this absolute legend cleaves them apart before they can even scream. The dorm king whispers in awe. Malong's warnings were no exaggeration. Witnessing this power firsthand, the reality of Chen's strength finally sinks in. This isn't just a student. He's a reaper forged in endless combat. As the carnage unfolds, envy gnaws at the fallen king's heart. Suddenly, a shadow looms. A monster ambushes from behind, claws bared. He barely parries the strike, his hands erupting in desperate flames. Seizing the beast's leg, he roars a command to his comrades. Stop being useless baggage. Wake up and fight for your lives. Chen isn't the only one with everything on the line here. Ignited by his resolve, Shangzhu begins a fierce mystical incantation. Ethereal vines bind the beast, but it shatters them like glass. A brutal kick sends Zuo flying. Long retaliates, with frostbite breeze. The icy chill only buys a second. They must strike together. Combining their might, they trap the demon, screaming for the finish. The king prepares his trump card, a devastating nuclear flame bullet. A direct hit. Yet only a few singed hairs show for it. He unloads a barrage of fire, but the demon remains unyielding. Despair sets in as their stamina fades to a dangerous flicker. No more holding back. Zhu focuses every ounce of his soul. A converged burst erupts, consuming the monster in a colossal inferno. Smoke clears to reveal nothing but a scorched, brittle skeleton. The system chimes, a Class D ghost monkey bat has been purged. The trio collapses, their spirits drained, but their hearts soaring. They actually did it. They conquered a D-rank beast alone. Chen approaches, a hint of genuine surprise in his eyes. Did you see that? Chen Zuo scoffs, clutching the bone loot. Too easy, he lies, panting heavily. Just a total cakewalk. Chen scans his exhausted team. The true trial has only started. The king pockets his trophy, hiding his trembling, weary hands. Chen. Despite his reluctance, he offers praise as the drone announces the total annihilation of the dungeon's monsters. The Devil's Cave is officially purged. Watching the monitors, Director Gong's sanity begins to crumble rapidly. He watches in disbelief as these pathetic rookies, devoid of any true battlefield experience, pull off miracles. They've crushed a D-rank menace that should have easily slaughtered their weak, inferior selves. His colleagues remain, eerily quiet, avoiding his gaze. Elsewhere, the top aide of Vice Chairman Cavendish observes with interest. He offers soft praise for Chen's brilliant display. Internally, he notes that the boy's overwhelming aura feels familiar. It mirrors the presence of a legendary figure from his past. The vice chairman finally utters Chen's name. He marks the boy as a person of interest. This sudden attention sends ripples of fear through President Ting's father. Panic seizes the director too. Desperate to distract them, he redirects the monitors toward the elite student council. They are currently navigating a separate D-rank cavern, a perfect diversion to pull eyes away from Chen's feat. He highlights how the elites have already breached the mid-zone, earning a nod of approval from the chairman's aide. Their flawless teamwork is highly commended. Their tactical precision is likened to the lethal efficiency of professional guilds. It's like watching a veteran raid squad. This high praise brings a knowing smirk to Chairman Carl's face. He notes that this year's crop of graduates possesses a raw talent far eclipsing any previous generation's potential. They are truly a cut above the rest. Director Gong mutters a dark warning beneath his breath. The true bloodbath is merely starting. The ultimate trial has yet to show its terrifying face to these spectators. No one is prepared for what comes next. Deep within the D-rank toxic vine cavern, the atmosphere shifts. The president's elite squad is suddenly swarmed. Lethal miasma-shrouded fungal monsters erupt from the shadows surrounding them completely. They strike from every corner. A girl strikes her guitar strings, unleashing a haunting melody of pure destruction. Her elegy of decay withers the foes. Beside her, a star mage chains the creatures together with celestial gravity. His star attraction sets the stage for a finishing blow. He signals his leader to unleash his devastating might. The president lunges forward, blade drawn. He is poised to end this skirmish with a single decisive movement. He executes the strike with overwhelming grace. Every movement is a masterclass in lethal, high-speed combat techniques. A solitary flash shatters the fungal horde. The president's blazing sky seaver carves through the air with surgical lethality. His allies notice something strange. These monsters are identical to the targets they faced during their secret training drills. Their previous preparation makes this trial trivial. Because they know these patterns, the squad dominates the battlefield effortlessly. Zero pressure, zero danger. They knew the school authorities would rig this graduation exam to favor those with influence. The path to success was paved long ago. Having powerful connections guarantees a golden future in this harsh world. Fueled by arrogance, they start their victory dance. They are certain the title of champion is already within their grasp. No one can challenge their predestined crown. Meanwhile, at the Cloud Forest summit, our main group comes to a halt. The guys are stunned to still be breathing. Before them stands the absolute terror of this realm, the Lair Lord. Amidst a desolate icy void, the ghost ape dwells. It sits undisturbed, casually devouring its latest bloody kill. Cold sweat drenches the Dorm King. Just witnessing the beast's oppressive presence makes his heart hammer against his ribs. A single blow from those massive paws would be fatal. He'd be punched straight into the next world instantly. Sensing their fear, the beast slowly turns its gaze. It fixates its predatory eyes on the group's most vulnerable link. Ma Long loses his nerve and lets out a shrill cry. That one mistake is all the monster needs to strike. The colossal primate propels itself through the air. It descends like a mountain of fur and fury upon them. The others flee, as if death itself is chasing them. But Chen He surges forward with zero fear in his eyes. He leaps high, burying a savage kick into the beast's snout. He immediately follows up with a storm of strikes. He tosses the massive creature like a rag doll. The battle ends in a gory display as he shreds the beast. The Lair Lord is reduced to mere scraps of meat. This brutal exhibition leaves his companions paralyzed with absolute shock. His raw, unbridled strength defies all logic. The supposed boss was nothing more than a warm-up for him. Chen casts a nonchalant glance toward his frozen team. Silence reigns as they struggle to process his godlike power. This graduation trial is becoming a walk in the park. They press deeper into the dense, mysterious woodlands. Darker shadows await them further ahead. Even. Chen's scowl deepens. These D-rank flies aren't even worth the mana. Trash loot. Suddenly, a roar of excitement pierces through the trees. Treasure-massive mana stones lie hidden within a rotted hollow trunk. Greed blinds them. His teammates scramble forward to claim the prize. Chen's warning scream erupts, but he is a heartbeat too late. The moment fingers brush the crystals, a blinding frost nova explodes. Absolute zero. Shanzu and the drones are instantly entombed in ice. Static. The VIP feed goes black as the signal is severed. That snake of a director smirks. This was his twisted plan. High-rank monsters set traps. The amateurs walked right into his snare. Cavendish's blood runs cold. This isn't a test. It's a massacre. The director feigns pity, urging for an immediate emergency extraction mission. The principal snaps. He isn't ready to pull the plug yet. Vitals are stable. The safety bracelets haven't triggered a forced abort. Look at them. Not a single soul has surrendered today. The choice belongs to them. Only warriors decide when to quit. Inside the tomb, Ma Long's teeth chatter against the biting Arctic wind. He stands alone. His inherent ice resistance saved him from freezing. A bone-chilling cackle echoes. A skeletal frost nightmare emerges from shadows. Its merciless gaze pierces his soul. Terror roots him to the spot. Breath turns to ice. He looks at his frozen allies in despair. The creature raises a jagged frost blade. Its eyes glow with malice. The Lair Lord. A nightmare mentioned only in the ancient records. Memories flood back. He recognizes this monster from the Forbidden Bestiary. A cloud mage. Master of absolute defense and devastating frost magic. It commands the blizzard effortlessly. A god of snow and slaughter. This beast doesn't just kill. It savors the slow torture of prey. The Bone King of Remains. A name that spells certain death. The ice was a lure. Instinct screams at him to flee. He bolts. Fear drives his legs as he tries to survive. An S-rank lord, he can't face this monster alone. Not ever. He lunges toward Chen, but a frost spike strikes his leg. Skewered, the Bone King laughs at his pathetic, crawling struggle. His bracelet shrieks, a crimson warning flashes, critical puncture wound detected, bone shattered. The system offers him the coward's exit. Abort now. He refuses. He claws toward Chen, desperate to thaw their hope. Another shard strikes. It pins his arm to the frozen ground. He's powerless. His desperate struggle ends in a spray of blood. The Bone King watches, relishing every second of Ma Long's agonizing pain. The siren blares again. The damage to his body is catastrophic. Arteries pierced. Heart rate critical. Death is tightening its skeletal grip. The system prompts again, forfeit, but Ma Long's mind drifts away. A flashback hits. A lifetime of running from every single hardship. He was always the coward, the one who fled when pressured. That habit left him empty. A man with no progress left. Long was no stranger to despair. The echoes of past mockery still stung, the cruelty of those who looked down on him. But they had bled too much. To fall here. This wasn't just a fight. It was his final stand. To rewrite their destiny. Igniting his very soul, he channeled every ounce of his remaining life force. With a roar, he shattered Chen's icy shackles. He stood defiant as the Bone King rained down a lethal storm of frost, directly at his heart. Death raced toward him in an unrelenting wave. As the shards closed in, a primal scream erupted. Chen's eyes snapped open, at that precise second. His frozen prison exploded into 1,000 glittering shards. As he lunged forward, like lightning, he snatched Long from certain doom. The Bone King stared frozen in shock at this impossible display of speed. Long gasped, realizing Chen had conquered the frost through sheer will alone. "I have got you," Chen whispered, his eyes filled with deep gratitude. He checked Long's wounds, his voice trembling with a comrade's heavy concern. "I will live." Long wheezed. "The blood has slowed. For now, at least." He forced a smile, then gestured toward the monstrosity looming over them. "That thing. It is a rank Sea Lord, a master of frozen arts. The Bone King. In a direct clash, its power is absolutely monstrous. One more touch of that ice, and we are dead. Avoid it." Survival depended entirely on evading that lethal, soul-chilling frost at any cost. Sudden dread filled the air as the Bone King gathered massive mana. A mountain of jagged glaciers formed a sky-rending monument of certain death. It was an ice nuke. The world turned blinding white as the glacier detonated with earth-shattering force. The king's victory laugh died in its throat when the mist cleared. Both warriors still stood defiant. Chen's aura shifted. He invoked the Doomflame King and the Frost Body, granting him absolute immunity to the king's Arctic wrath. His power surged, turning the frozen hellscape into his personal playground. The hunter became prey. The monster shrieked in terror. Long watched in utter disbelief as Chen changed. He was a void assassin, yet now he radiated the Cloud Warrior light. Could Chen be a legendary dual awakener, a genius who defied nature's laws? Chen ignored the shock. "Sorry," he muttered, "I underestimated this monster's strength. I put you in danger. So I will end this nightmare, right now." With a terrifying surge of dark energy, he shifted into an abyssal fiend. Drawing the Purgatory Warrior sword, he unleashed a wave of pure killing intent. Long's jaw hit the floor. This wasn't just power, it was God tier. The laws of this world dictate one class per soul. That is absolute. Yet legends speak of dual classers' rarities that appear once in a century. They are the ultimate treasures worshipped by every major guild on Earth. But what Long was witnessing surpassed even the wildest myths of hunters. His breath hitched as the truth dawned. Chen was no dual awakener. He was wielding three god-level classes in a single human vessel, and each one possessed power that could level mountains with one strike. In his fiend form, Chen's murderous stats skyrocketed past the point of sanity. He flexed his legs, the ground shattering beneath his overwhelming pressure. Like a demonic comet, he tore through the air with explosive momentum. The final execution of the Bone King had officially begun. That arrogant smirk fades as a chilling intent erupts. With one elegant stroke, he cleaves the skeleton like paper. Reaching level 17, he claims rare spoils. His comrade gazes at the bone shards, frozen in utter disbelief. A C-rank boss obliterated in a single strike. He calmly notes that their allies remain encased in permafrost. Realization hits Malong like a truck. In the heat of battle, he totally blanked on his stranded teammates. He rushes to defrost the crew before they freeze solid. Once alone, Chen spots a dark prompt devour. The Frost Lich King is his to consume. Hidden from prying eyes, he absorbs the fallen monarch's essence. He gains the Cloud Mage class via that Arctic nova. The explosion conveniently blinded every surveillance drone nearby. His secret remains safe for now. Suddenly, a second system alert flashes before his eyes unexpectedly. His Lightning Assassin class evolves further. Now he can grant a star to amplify one of his attributes. Elsewhere in the D-rank Gloomvine Grotto, the Council President's elite squad is being brutally crushed. Their desperate strikes barely scratch the boss's hide. This D-rank monster is a nightmare for these green rookies. The mage binding the beast with mystic chains falters. He is seconds away from total physical collapse. Those lightning-infused arrows feel like mere insect stings. They fail to leave even a mark on the Lord. They're thrown like ragdolls by a giant. This crushing humiliation makes their past training feel like a joke. Their simulations offered no preparation for this. They have never encountered such overwhelming raw power before today. With a deafening roar, the Titan swings. The students struggle just to remain upright against the shockwaves. Mana pools are running dangerously dry. Each desperate counterattack is dismissed like a bothersome fly by the beast. The grotto's shadows tighten like a noose. Their formation breaks, and their arrogant pride crumbles into dust. The president frantically searches for an opening. Yet the relentless monster refuses to give them even a moment. Cornered within these cursed walls, they realize their training was nothing but a fragile fantasy. A true boss's might is bone-chilling. They finally grasp the vast distance between them and real power. This is no longer a test, it's survival. Every incoming strike carries the heavy weight of certain death. Unmatched intensity crushes their spirits. The mage realizes the president is the only one who can save them. Only he possesses the strength to win. Safely in the rear, the president strikes a majestic, dramatic pose. Supported by buffs, he focuses his ultimate art. With power surging, he lunges toward the boss like a comet. His flaming blade bites deep. It skewers the monster's core, unleashing a violent, chaotic tempest of light. A fiery inferno incinerates the beast from within. Cheers erupt as they witness the supposed birth of a legend. His name is destined for greatness. The drone broadcasts their victory over the D-rank dungeon to everyone. A clear time of 30 minutes flat. His squad is ecstatic, certain they've secured the #1 spot. Surely no one can top that record. They emerge with swagger, hunting for their names atop the leaderboard. They crave that peak-ranking glory. Strutting through the halls, they pass crowds of defeated, weary students. These quitters fled early. Most look completely haunted by the dungeon's horrors. The demons they faced still haunt their eyes. This was their first true taste of hell. The president's crony notices Chen's group. They're just lounging casually off in the distance. Seeing their disheveled state, he assumes the worst. He's convinced they failed the moment they entered. The lackey struts over with a sneer. He taunts Chen for failing despite his earlier big talk. He brings up Chen's earlier arrogance. The mutt keeps barking until his master finally shuts him up. The Alliance vice chairman is arriving. This sophisticated man offers a slow, rhythmic, and chilling applause. He praises their spectacular showing. As he nears the president, maintains a perfectly composed mask. The underlings tremble with sheer fanboy energy. Standing before the vice chairman is their ultimate dream. The mage is awestruck by the president's power. That boss couldn't handle his solar blade. A 30-minute clear will go down in history. Drones captured every second of their glory. The hall remains stunned. Chen stays silent, unfazed by the pathetic insults being thrown his way. The official nears with a knowing smile. The president stands tall, anticipating his formal praise. All eyes are glued to the scoreboard. His cronies vibrate with excitement, awaiting their inevitable top rank. Standing before a global titan, President Ting extends a hand desperate for respect. But Mr. Cavendish ignores him entirely, walking past as if he were dust. This public snub shatters the president's pride into 1,000 jagged pieces. To crush him further, the vice chairman hails his rival as a true legend. He claps Chen's shoulder, announcing for the entire crowd to hear that this boy cleared a D-rank dungeon in just 20 minutes. Not even the guild's elite pro teams have ever touched such a record. The council president and his cronies are left utterly speechless by the news. They can't comprehend how 4 bottom-tier nobodies completely outclassed their opus 10-man elite squad while conquering a lethal D-rank lair. Meanwhile, Chen doesn't even flinch. Praise from the nation's strongest means nothing. To him, it is just noise. Still, he wonders why a titan came. Why would a figure of his stature personally visit this lowly academy? Regardless, Carl Cavendish promises to remember Chen's name. Then he turns to Gong Lin, the man who invited him. The chairman offers a cold, dry remark about Lin's son. He calls the boy talented, a backhanded insult disguised as praise. That hollow compliment leaves a bitter, poisonous taste in their mouths. With that, the legendary vice chairman prepares to make his grand exit. The director quickly intervenes to salvage what remains of the academy's honor. He declares a tie, announcing that both top teams are the victors. Both squads receive the ultimate prize, an invitation to the Imperial Guild. This sounds like divine music to Chen's roommates. They've made it. They are set for life, all thanks to Chen's monstrous god-tier carry. Ting's lackeys celebrate, but the president himself is seething with hatred. The director adds that the captains will earn leadership roles within the guild. For their merit, the $1 million prize will be split between them. Both leaders are stunned. However, Chen realizes $500,000 isn't enough. That sum won't be nearly enough to settle his mountain of debt. He needs a way to bridge the gap for the Mithril Exchange Guild, but that concern is cut short as President Ting's ego finally explodes. He refuses the tie, declaring that only one can stand at the summit. He demands a one-on-one duel to determine the true champion. This sudden, reckless challenge shocks everyone, even drawing the chairman's gaze. Horrified by his nephew's madness, the director begs him to stand down. The old man explains that a draw is the only way to save face. He expects Chen to reject the duel, but our protagonist just smirks. Chen accepts instantly, but with a high-stakes condition for this battle. The winner takes the entire $1 million prize. All or nothing. That spicy twist is wild enough to make the vice chairman halt his departure. That twist forces the vice chairman to halt his departure. Chen steps forward, ready to settle the score once and for all.